What if the world is already ready to give you everything you want, but you're too distracted to receive it? Most people sabotage their own destiny without even realizing it. They scatter their energy across 1,000 different desires, wonder why nothing meaningful manifests, and blame external circumstances for their lack of progress. If this thought stirred something inside you, like the video and subscribe. Here we uncover truths that change the way you see your life, and reveal the hidden patterns that separate those who achieve extraordinary results from those who remain stuck in mediocrity. There comes a moment when the path feels confusing, chaotic, and scattered. You look around and see successful people who seem to effortlessly attract opportunities, while you struggle to make even basic progress. Yet history shows a pattern that most people miss completely. Those who achieve the impossible share one silent discipline, an unshakable focus on what they truly want. John D. Rockefeller understood this long before anyone else. He believed that when the mind becomes precise, the world begins to shift around it. The mind is like a lens. Scattered light burns nothing, but concentrated light cuts through steel. This isn't just a poetic metaphor, it's the fundamental principle that governs how reality responds to human intention. When you examine the lives of people who built empires, created lasting change, or achieved what others deemed impossible, you discover they all mastered this singular truth. They learned to channel their mental energy toward one specific outcome, rather than dispersing it across multiple competing desires. Most people treat their attention like water flowing downhill, following whatever path offers the least resistance. They want financial freedom, but also crave comfort. They desire meaningful relationships, but refuse to be vulnerable. They dream of building something significant, but won't sacrifice their endless entertainment and distractions. This scattered approach ensures that none of their desires receive sufficient energy to manifest into reality. But when you choose only one desire, something profound happens. Your energy stops leaking through 1,000 tiny holes. Every thought, every decision, every action begins to serve this single purpose. Ideas appear that were always there, but previously invisible to your unfocused mind. Opportunities reveal themselves because your heightened awareness now recognizes what supports your goal. Everything that once felt heavy becomes aligned because you're no longer fighting yourself. Rockefeller didn't become the richest person in modern history by accident. He understood that success isn't about working harder than everyone else or having superior natural talents. Success comes from directing your complete attention toward what you want, with such intensity that alternatives become irrelevant. When your desire is clear and your focus is unwavering, you begin to notice details that escape everyone else. You see patterns where others see chaos. You recognize opportunities where others see obstacles. This principle extends far beyond personal achievement. When you focus exclusively on what you want, you automatically stop feeding energy to what you don't want. You stop entertaining doubts that weaken your resolve. You stop engaging in conversations that dilute your vision. You stop consuming content that fills your mind with other people's agendas. This isn't about becoming narrow-minded or ignoring important aspects of life. This is about recognizing that your attention is your most precious resource and guarding it accordingly. Distractions are not neutral forces in your life. They're active traps that steal your power and redirect it toward outcomes you never consciously chose. Every time you allow your mind to wander from your primary objective, you're essentially voting for mediocrity. Every time you engage with content, people, or activities that don't serve your highest goal, you're training yourself to accept less than what you're capable of achieving. Rockefeller knew that attention is the most valuable currency in existence. Money can be earned, lost, and earned again. Time passes whether you use it wisely or waste it completely. But attention is different. Attention shapes your reality in real time. Where you direct your attention determines not only what you notice, but what begins to manifest in your experience. This is why protecting your mental space becomes a matter of survival rather than preference. When you stop feeding what weakens you, the world reacts immediately. Opinions from people who don't share your vision lose their power to derail your progress. Fears that once seemed overwhelming begin to shrink because you're no longer giving them constant reinforcement through worry and speculation. Chaotic environments that previously drained your energy start feeling irrelevant because your focus has become an internal compass that remains steady, regardless of external turbulence. The unnecessary falls away not through force or struggle, but through simple neglect. When something doesn't serve your primary objective, you naturally withdraw your energy from it. Relationships that drain rather than energize you begin to fade. Habits that conflict with your goal become uncomfortable to maintain. Activities that once seemed important reveal themselves as elaborate forms of procrastination. Meanwhile, the essential stays and strengthens. Elements that support your desired outcome become more prominent in your experience. People who can help you achieve your goals seem to appear more frequently. Resources that serve your purpose become easier to find. Skills that advance your progress develop more rapidly because you're practicing them with complete engagement rather than half-hearted effort. This isn't magic or wishful thinking. This is how the human mind works when it operates with singular purpose instead of conflicting intentions. Your brain is designed to seek out information that confirms your dominant thoughts and filter out information that contradicts them. When your dominant thought is a clear, specific desire backed by unwavering focus, your brain becomes a powerful scanning device that identifies everything in your environment that can help you achieve that outcome. Great achievers don't wait for signs or external validation before taking action. They behave as if the outcome is already guaranteed. This isn't blind optimism or naive thinking. This is a strategic posture that creates the conditions necessary for success. When you act with complete certainty that your goal will be achieved, you make different decisions than someone who hopes their goal might be achieved. Someone who acts from certainty doesn't waste time on backup plans that dilute their commitment. They don't hedge their bets or keep one foot in their comfort zone. They move forward with the confidence of someone who knows exactly where they're going and why their arrival is inevitable. This posture rewires everything about how you approach your objective. Your decisions become cleaner because you're not constantly second-guessing yourself or looking for escape routes. Your habits align automatically because activities that don't serve your certain outcome feel uncomfortable to maintain. Even the people around you begin to respond differently because certainty is magnetic, while uncertainty repels support and opportunities. When you truly believe your success is inevitable, you stop engaging in the behaviors that characterize people who doubt their ability to achieve their goals. You don't complain about obstacles because you expect them and view them as temporary inconveniences rather than permanent barriers. You don't seek constant reassurance from others because your confidence comes from within. You don't waste energy on activities that provide emotional comfort but no practical progress because you're motivated by something more compelling than temporary relief from discomfort. This kind of certainty isn't something you fake until you make it. This is something you develop through consistent proof that your focused attention produces results. Every small success reinforces your belief that bigger successes are possible. Every problem you solve by maintaining focus rather than scattering your energy strengthens your conviction that this approach works. Over time, acting as if success is inevitable becomes your natural way of being, because you've experienced enough evidence to make doubt seem illogical. The people around you begin to mirror your certainty. When someone believes completely in their ability to achieve something, others start believing in that possibility too. This isn't manipulation or persuasion. This is natural human psychology. We're drawn to people who know where they're going and possess the internal strength to get there regardless of circumstances. We want to be part of something that feels destined for success rather than hoping for success. Life begins to adjust itself in response to your certainty because you're sending clear, consistent signals about what you expect to receive. Instead of the mixed messages that come from scattered desires and conflicting intentions, you're broadcasting a single, powerful frequency that the world can respond to effectively. Resources align because you're not confusing the universe with contradictory requests. People align because they can sense your commitment and want to support something that feels solid and real. When your desire, your focus, and your actions move in the same direction, something extraordinary happens that most people never experience. Momentum builds naturally without forced effort or exhausting hustle. This is what Rockefeller understood that his competitors missed. Success doesn't come from working against resistance. Success comes from eliminating internal resistance so that external momentum can build without interference. Most people unknowingly work against themselves. They want one thing but think about another. They say they're committed to a goal, but take actions that serve conflicting purposes. They claim to be focused, but allow their attention to be pulled in multiple directions throughout each day. This internal misalignment creates friction that prevents momentum from developing, no matter how hard they work or how many strategies they try. But when everything inside you points toward the same outcome, you eliminate that friction completely. Your thoughts reinforce your actions instead of undermining them. Your actions strengthen your beliefs instead of creating doubt. Your beliefs guide your thoughts instead of being overwhelmed by random mental chatter. This alignment creates a powerful force that builds on itself with each passing day. The right people show up because you're no longer sending mixed signals about what kind of support you need. Instead of attracting people who want to help you with whatever you happen to be doing today, you attract people who are genuinely excited about your specific vision and possess the skills or resources to help you achieve it. These aren't just networking connections or casual acquaintances. These are meaningful relationships with people who share your commitment to seeing this particular outcome manifest in reality. Doors open because you're consistently moving in a direction that leads somewhere specific. When someone has a clear destination, others can see how to help them get there. When someone is wandering aimlessly, even well-meaning people don't know how to provide meaningful assistance. Opportunities reveal themselves because your heightened focus helps you recognize possibilities that were always present, but previously invisible to your scattered attention. The path that once seemed random becomes astonishingly precise. Instead of feeling like you're stumbling through trial and error, hoping something will eventually work, you develop the ability to see exactly what needs to happen next. Each step reveals the subsequent step because you're following a clear trajectory, rather than exploring multiple directions simultaneously. This precision isn't something that happens overnight. Like developing any skill, learning to focus exclusively on what you want requires practice and patience. Most people give up before they experience the momentum phase, because they expect immediate results from scattered efforts. They try focusing for a few days or weeks, don't see dramatic changes, and conclude that the approach doesn't work for them. But those who persist through the initial phase discover something remarkable. Focus becomes easier to maintain as results begin to appear. Small successes fuel motivation for continued focus. Continued focus generates bigger successes. Bigger successes create the evidence needed to maintain focus, even when temporary setbacks occur. This upward spiral is what separates people who achieve extraordinary outcomes from people who remain stuck in cycles of starting and stopping. The world aligns itself with those who dare to be clear about what they want because clarity is rare and powerful. Most people live in a fog of conflicting desires, uncertain priorities, and shifting goals. They want everything and therefore get nothing meaningful. They chase trends instead of following their own vision. They react to circumstances instead of creating circumstances that serve their purposes. When you become someone who knows exactly what they want and refuses to be distracted from pursuing it, you stand out dramatically from everyone around you. This clarity becomes a form of leadership that attracts resources, opportunities, and supporters almost automatically. People want to be around someone who represents focused intention because it reminds them of their own potential and inspires them to develop similar clarity in their own lives. Your focused attention also serves others by showing them what becomes possible when someone commits completely to a worthy outcome. Instead of being another person who talks about dreams but takes no meaningful action, you become living proof that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary results through extraordinary focus. This example encourages others to examine their own scattered approaches and consider what they might accomplish if they channeled their energy more effectively. The alignment effect extends beyond personal achievement to create positive ripples throughout your entire environment. When you operate with clear intention and unwavering focus, you naturally become more reliable, more effective, and more valuable to everyone you encounter. Your work improves because you're not constantly switching between competing priorities. Your relationships deepen because you're fully present instead of mentally divided among various concerns. Your contributions become more significant because you're building something substantial rather than dabbling in multiple superficial projects. This is why successful people often seem to live in a different reality than everyone else. They're not just lucky or naturally gifted. They've learned to focus their attention so precisely that opportunities and resources flow toward them naturally. They've eliminated the internal conflicts that cause most people to work against themselves. They've developed the discipline to maintain their focus even when external circumstances become challenging or distracting. The most important thing to understand is that this capability exists within everyone. The difference between people who achieve what they want and people who don't isn't talent, connections, or circumstances. The difference is focus. Those who get what they want have learned to direct their attention exclusively toward their desired outcome until that outcome becomes inevitable. Those who don't get what they want continue to scatter their attention across multiple competing desires and wonder why nothing significant manifests. Every transformation begins with a single, unwavering decision to focus only on what you want and allow everything else to fade into the background. This decision isn't comfortable because it requires giving up the illusion that you can have everything without making choices. It requires accepting that achieving something extraordinary means saying no to everything that doesn't serve that purpose. It requires trusting that when you align your desire, focus, and actions, The world will respond in ways that currently seem impossible. Comment below with the words, "I choose my focus," if you're ready to eliminate the distractions that have been sabotaging your progress and direct your complete attention toward what you truly want. Like and share if this message resonated with you, and remember that the world aligns itself with those who dare to be clear. Your next level of success is waiting for you to focus long enough to receive it.